forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you knew good for me. That's why me know set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Friday, and some people say, thank God it's Friday, but I say, thank God it's just another day. This morning, we have Poetry Corner, and in the Poetry Corner this morning is none other than Marge, the poet. I got with me Max Juanette, Flavius, and Francine will be joining us in a few minutes. Top of the morning, Max. How you doing? Top of the morning.
Grand Rising, Franco, Flavius, Francine, and everyone, viewers, subscribers, and listeners, and guests. I'm doing pretty good in Kissimmee this morning. Sun is shining. I'm shining. We're just a little shining today.
They said the weather is good. Mm-hmm.
For now.
For now. Yeah, I know that's how the weather is. You know, it's Florida weather, you know. So Florida, that's what them say, boy, you can't predict it.
Yeah, man, the bipolar.
It's like how this me I tell you the sun shine today, and them say today is gonna be hot, but I guarantee you by midday, it's a different kettle of fish.
Oh yes, oh yes.
By midday, something different. So. Yes, so we know we have it is Flavius coming here. Top of the morning, Flavius.
Morning.
Oh, I thought you weren't coming this morning. The limousine, you missed the limousine this morning?
Why did you think that?
I could have swear I sent them by to pick you up early.
Okay.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I guess had a big tour.
Must. So what's happening in your neck of the wood this morning, man? What's going on in Jamaica? Sweet Jamaica, them say.
Nothing much. Sunshine, that's about it, you know. Everybody complaining about the change back to the curfew times.
Oh.
Some people are not at all.
Mm-hmm. I see.
But can you give me a call? Remember, we had promised to give her 10 minutes or so.
Who that?
Anya.
Well, we already start late, but you call her now? You know what? Hold on. Max, let's do this.
Yes.
I met a boy the other day, got the sweetest loving ever come my way. Do anything I say, when he loves me this way. The only thing I say is, oh mama, keep on loving me, so bad boy. Oh mama, keep on loving me, so bad boy. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. Bad boy, so wonderful. All I can say is, oh mama, keep on loving me, so bad boy. Oh mama, keep on loving me, so bad boy. Love me with it, tone, deep in it on a break. Man, you better run, come, cause I need a fix. Man, you better run, come, cause I need a fix. I feel it, ooh, Miss Abagoya. Oh mama, Miss Abagoya. Oh mama, Miss Abagoya. Oh mama, Miss Abagoya. He got Bagoya in it, so wonderful. Mr. Bagoya in it, so wonderful. He got Bagoya, so wonderful. I met a boy the other day, got the sweetest loving ever come my way. Do anything everything I say. But when he loves me this way, the only thing I say is, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama. Keep on loving me so bad. And you hit me with it ton, dee on the brakes. Man, you better run, come, cause I need a fix. Man, you better run, come, cause I need a fix. I sing it, ay, 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 ay. Ooh, me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Ooh, me so bad boy. Ooh, me so bad boy.
Walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. In my own homeland. Enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight. In my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you've got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely blessed. My own homeland. North or south, feel free to wander about. You can jump, dance or...
Yes. Hey Max, guess what?
What?
We have a wait name there for going on.
How?
Yesterday you mentioned something, said boy. You don't make you don't do the dumpling thing, you yam the dumpling.
Somebody's giving us some poor feedback. Who's that?
Yeah, and is it which one are you? I think they're in the kitchen, Anya. You have to step out of the kitchen. Cause we are here, ruffle up the flour dumpling and the festival, whatever.
Greetings, Anya. Greetings.
Greetings.
This one them say,
Brother Errol. But yes, Franco, as I said, I am a dumpling yama, not a dumpling maker.
All right. Well, you have a nyamings. You have a nyam.
That's up the morning.
You have a nyamings for go. Yeah, top of the morning. You have a nyamings for go. And this one is happening this Friday here, July the 30th. Little Theatre Yard pickup at 12 noon to 5:30 p.m. And we have with us this morning Anya, who's going to tell us some more about the emancipendence nyamings. So Anya, you have to step out of our kitchen. Yeah, you have to step out of our kitchen.
Alright, so here's the thing now. So okay, with the pantomime, normally every year on 1st of August we have some kind of function to celebrate that very important day in our history. So true, because COVID has blocked our show and locked down all of this little fun we were going to plan to have.
Okay.
We have had to change our efforts. So last year we had our first outing where we have call it a fish fry, but it's fish and chicken we're selling. And it's a great fun because the pantomime is a family thing. So for those persons who have been out of work for the COVID, what we're doing is we're raising funds to just give them a little something to help tide them over.
Okay.
Right.
To make sure that they're okay. And if we enough, then we'll put a little something in the kitty towards whatever our next production will be. So that is the thing. So we're doing fried fish. We're doing jerk chicken.
Mm-hmm.
We have the wonderful festival.
And it's festival time.
Slippers. It's festival time. Fruit, plantain, and then we have, okay, so the fish is for 2,000 and the chicken is for 1,500.
Okay.
And for those who are suffering from a struggling pocket like many of us, we have a bust the gas combo.
Bust me gas combo.
Bust the gas. Right.
Yeah.
So you can bust the gas with a cup of fish tea and 2 saltfish fritters.
Hey.
So you grease up your mouth corner
What?
and go down in the thing. Yeah. So
Anya,
that's the thing we're doing, yeah?
Anya, me soon come. Me go for my passport. Me soon come. Me soon come.
I was saying to T off here, say if you come in, make sure I hurry up because if you wait too long, the festival them are tough when they're cold.
Exactly. And
Make sure you reach while them warm.
That's it.
I like the name where you guys name it, you know, Emancipendence Namings. So, you know, a
Of
whole
course, it's Nyamins, yeah? Then Nyam is a good thing.
yeah, a whole heap of food
see
that
it?
go on. Yeah, man.
I say if you do the thing, you just near me.
And this is all happening at Little Theatre Yard, right?
Right, Little Theatre Yard, which is Comrade Come Drive. That's from the stadium or up the road from Up Park Camp. So if you don't behave badly, Up Park Camp will not go in.
Let's come over, come pick them up, yeah. And from 12 noon to 5:30 to 5:30 p.m.
Right.
And delivery is also
While
available.
stocks last. Delivery is available, but they have to call me and think.
Oh,
And I'm sorry, I cannot quite work it out with DHL to get your festival up to you in time. But for those who are closer at hand.
yeah. And I have to bring you on as a comedian next week.
And you have to come. Yes. Anya make my money.
All right, Anya, checking you out. Coming soon. Later.
I love it.
One love, Anya. One love.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man. So them putting on the pot on the fire again. You have a police escort there with you, man.
Somebody and chief, you
Yes,
come
that's what
here.
if you make sure that them don't run. Look here, fish is very expensive, you know. We had was to hire an escort.
Okay.
All right.
I get you, my dear. I get you. All right, Anya, we're going.
The dumpling alarm that's it up. You stay there, somebody and chief for the dumpling.
We're going to make sure so we hit
Yeah,
it
man.
up for the rest of the day. I'm going to send it out to all of my friends them down there as well, so that them
Yeah,
can
man.
know, say,
Much
this going on.
and much no.
All right, so
Yeah, man.
for
Much
our
appreciated.
listeners, viewers watching right now, and you see the flyer on screen, we're gonna hit you up in my WhatsApp. So all of my WhatsApp contacts, Max Waneta going to send you, and you can do the same thing too. All right. So thank you
That's
very
it,
much,
Captain.
Anya, for coming on. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Thanks,
bless.
man. Have a good one.
I remember left
one love.
my boss me gas. Me I come for that.
That's it, Anya.
All right. Cool.
All right. Bless.
Walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. In my own homeland. Enjoying the brights.
Yes. We have with us this morning our poet, Marge, the poet, this morning. So, Max, I'm going to give you the honor this morning.
Oh my goodness. It's
Welcome and
beautiful,
introduce.
beautiful.
Well, we're going to say welcome because she's no stranger
That's right.
to our Zoom meeting. So, You know, I'm going to give you the honor this morning, Max, while
Well,
I throw her up on
okay.
screen again. All right.
Okay, we have with us today Marjorie Walters, born March 14, 1967. Should I have said that, March? In the parish of St. Mary. She's the last of 10 children for her mother, who passed away a few months after her birth. She grew up in adopted state care, and she's the mother of one child and the grandmother to 3. Marge began writing at 13 years of age as a pastime for depression and struggling with self-esteem. She took a break for many years. In 2008 to 2009, it all came back. Until now, it only is getting better. She can safely say that she has over 200 pieces and a book on Amazon called Highways, Byways, and Beyond. Wanna see it? Come and have my copy. Yes. And the second edition is coming soon. Marge also entered Jamaica's festival as a songwriter. Jamaica, my land. Remember it? And she's also a part-time chef and single-handedly owns the little place Your Kitchen. She's also an actor on the YouTube series, The Bartender. Without further ado, we welcome again Marjorie Walters. Welcome, Marge.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. And let me start off with my quote: I can, I will, and I must. And it's a pleasure to be on the panel.
It's a pleasure having you, Marge. And for those who don't know Marge, I know Marge. Marge, I love you. As you see, I have her book. We support each other as poets and creatives and entrepreneurs. So it's an honor to have you here. Marge, tell us a little bit about you. I mean, I know we said you started writing at 13. You touched on something about depression and you were struggling with self-esteem. A lot of people see us smiling every day and see us doing the work, but don't know the struggle behind it. You want to just share a little bit of that with us?
Okay, after entering the festivals last week and coming second place, I decided to write on my page, who is Marge? At first I said, who is Marge? And then I said, who was Marge? Because we try to see the greater side of people most times, not knowing where it all started from. So I wanted to highlight that also. Okay, for me, Marge is just a simple girl. Growing up, found myself living with an adopted mother. And then afterwards, I heard that my mother passed off when I was months old. And I didn't even know I had so many brothers and sisters until I got older. I found out that in all, it's 14 of us. Between my mother and my father, and I am the last on both sides.
Wow.
Yes. After being partially adopted, things weren't working out as how they were supposed to, so I ended up in 2 girls' homes, actually, the Glen Hope Place of Safety and the Stratton Girls' Home, which is now closed down. That's where the writing began. No, sorry, I should say the writing began when I was living with my adopted mom. And how that writing began is I remember I was attending the Melrose All-Age School. And I remember for homework, the teacher said to us, write a poem and bring tomorrow to class. And I went home and I wrote a poem that was 3 pages. I remember it was during the election 80, which was Jamaica's most bloodiest election. I don't know how, as a child at that age, I knew so much, even though I was a very avid reader and I was always watching the television. And my adopted mom was also a teacher. She had a basic school, so that was the first institution where I learned to read. And she was also a music teacher. So I remember when people came for music lessons, she would call me and say, come and read the paper for so-and-so, because I could read the Gleaner and the Star from, I knew myself. And I could pronounce all of these big words because I was told to break them down in syllables. And I enjoyed reading. So that's where it all started from. So when I took that poem to school the next morning, I remember the teacher told me to read it. And when I finished reading it, she was like looking at me like in awe. And she said, did you write all of that? And I said, yes. And she called the teacher from the other grade, because, you know, normally the blackboards part the classes. And she called the teacher from the other class and she said to her, listen to Marjorie read this poem that she wrote. And I had to stand up again in front of the class and read it over. And everybody was like amazed at being at that age and being able to say so much about what was taking place. And that was it. I don't remember doing anything more until I went in the girls' home. And, you know, being in the girls' home now, there's a stigma attached to wards of the state because people don't really understand. So they say, oh, a bad picnic, and then parents now want them, whatever. Right. So that's why them give them away. So we were referred to as the give picnic. The give picnic, yeah. Nobody no one way. So, you know, that played a lot on many of us self-esteem. Of course. Because you were like nobody. So I remember even when I was going to school, I told nobody where I lived. It's funny, I had no friends in high school, not because I could not have friends, but because I did not want friends, because I did not want them to know where I lived because of the stigma that was attached to it. So I went to school, hurry up and get home back. I can give you a joke. I remember I was standing at the bus stop one morning and I saw a girl in the same uniform like what I had on. Right. And I realized that she lived close by. And I decided I would not stand up back at that bus stop because I did not want her to interact with me and then she would know that I live close by. And then this rumor would have been spread at school that I was living at a girl's home, which was a huge embarrassment. So nobody wanted to talk about that. So during that time now at the girls' home, that is where the writing came in. Because, you know, you're there, I remember like holidays, we would see girls going home for holidays and only a few of us would have been left there who really didn't have anybody to take us home. So, you know, you felt left out, you felt depressed, you know, low self-esteem, as I say, like, you're not nobody, you know? Right. So that's where the writing came in. But before that, I have always admired Louise Bennett. And I remember reciting her poems in primary school. Right. So my writing style, I tell people I give credit to her because my writing style is really of Louise Bennett with the dialect. Okay. Makes sense. So makes perfect sense. Yes. Yes. So that's where now I started writing again, and you know, it was just little gimmicks, and we would like stay on the veranda and I would recite them and the girls would laugh because I was always about drama and jokes and fun. Even though I was going through a sad state, but I don't know why I choose to make everybody happy while a lot of people didn't even know that I wasn't really happy. But that was my right. But that was my avenue of trying to feel good. Right. So I would do these poems, and I remember I came in the Star years ago with, I think it was, I don't remember which one of the songsters, but I was featured. I was featured in the Star at one point. Sorry, go ahead, March. And then I left the girls' home. I think I was about 80, yes, because, you know, teenage pregnancy came into play. And I left the girls' home. So I had to be really focusing on my daughter as not really a single mother, but the financial holder of making sure she was okay and everything, right? So the writing took a back seat. And I was doing all sorts of odd jobs and stuff like that, just trying to make ends meet and to help myself. And then that was for years until about 2008 going to 2009. I remember I had two friends that I lost to gun violence, and I wrote a poem to read at one of the funerals. And after I finished reading the poem, somebody asked me who wrote the poem, and I told them that I wrote it, and they were amazed, like, wow, you know. And I said, yeah, I wrote some poetry back in the years, but you know, that just came to mind and I wrote it.
Now that
And
you
then-
mention it, I'm going to interrupt you. Sorry,
No
because
problem.
you started it. So since you
That's
put it down,
okay.
me have to pick it up. You have a piece that I'm very, 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 I mean, honestly, maybe I'm a bit biased, but I mean, I don't know which poem I can say out of your book is my favorite, but this, I just love it. I love them. But you have a piece called Who Will Stand? And I would really love for you to read that piece. I believe it's on page 85.
Give me 1 second, let me get my book.
You take your time. I have it, you know. Me ready, you know, Marge. Me ready, you know. Oh. Yes.
Why I'm
And
asking easy, you know.
this particular piece, it's so reflective of the people that nobody sees,
Okay.
or who don't have a voice. So it really stood out to me on page 85.
Okay, so, okay, yes.
Read
It's
that
called
first
Who Will
now.
Stand?
All right.
Okay. Miseducated, dedicated, misunderstood from the hood, the masses, turned into asses, patriotic without a reason, only for the political season, fighting for preferable MPs. Why not fight for degrees? The same ones who smile when them see up on them TV screen, knowing all you're protesting for is just a dream. Years of talking, we want light, road and water, and things still no better. If we not get Mr. So-and-so, no vote. Uno love take oath. Them know uno weakness, and them know uno sweetness. 2 cold beer and a plate of curry goat. All's well when that reach uno throat. 500 bills on the conference bus. Over it, uno fight and fuss. In a politics, uno place, uno trust. Whole heap of heat as people get defeat from special seat. Who achieve? Yet, uno so naive. Poor can barely buy block, while the big man has houses on the rock. Everybody claims to love the poor for sure, but who will stand and say no more? Who will stand and say no to injustice? Who will stand and say we no longer trust this? Who will stand for a cause? Who will stand but not for the applause?
Yes, ma'am. I love that. I love it.
Hey, I
Thank
want to
you.
ask Marge a question. And just listening to what you were reading, I have been through it. Not physically, I've seen it too. But I remember, you know, what you said in your conversation about the 1980, the bloody election. Now, listening to this piece, have you ever thought of putting like a dub music to it?
No, actually, I must say this. Majority of my poems were just written for fun until Denise Fye really saw the depth of my writings and decided that she think I should put out a book. Because I'm always a shy person in terms of like coming out of a crowd to read. I don't know why that is. I'm just kind of breaking out of the shell now.
It's
Okay.
all right. Me and you.
Yes, I will think about it. And I see where Max on it is pulling me out a lot these days.
Yeah.
I have to.
No, because I mean, I'm listening to songs nowadays playing the dance hall, and it don't have the lyrics off. It don't have nothing for
a lot
the
of people tell me that.
You know something?
A lot of
You
people
hit the
tell
nail,
me that.
Franco.
That's why I'm venturing into a little bit of songwriting now.
Yeah.
Do it. Franco is right. Do it,
Yeah,
Marge.
because,
agree.
I mean,
Put some
those
music
are-
and rhythm behind it.
Those,
Yes.
that remind me of the days when in the 70s. I'm not that old anyway.
No, wait a minute. What that say for everybody else?
No. I was a youth in the 70s, right? And in the 70s, the songs that the artists used to put out was the voices of the people. You understand me? We couldn't come out loudly and say it, and they used to say it in their songs. And I'm listening to what you're saying now, and that is the voice of the people. Because there's a lot of people who realize now, so that the politics, the shit sim, as well as Peter touched it, I said the shit sim.
Well, let's stop you. Well, you see that? You see, Marge?
Yeah.
Page 78, passa in politics.
All right, good.
Oh my God.
See that?
So you see we have something. The vibes that we're feeling, it's there already in the books. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well, actually, I tell people that all of my poems are reality. They are all relatable because for every poem that I write, I can explain to you the reason why I have written it. I tell people it has either happened already, is happening, or will happen. So there's no fiction about what I write. Everything is reality. So, I mean, I grew up in a community for the past, I would say maybe 40 years now. I've been living in this community I was further up the road. So I'm familiar with basically everybody in my community, right? And we know what happens in what you'd call lower class communities, where sometimes we really have politicians who come in and feed us many stories, and the less fortunate really buy into them. And at the end of the day, we don't really see the things that we want to be done. So it's all reality. And I speak on a whole host of topics. I speak on love, I speak on sex, I speak on murder, I speak on pedophilia, I speak on everything because I'm a very observant person and I read. I tell people my poetry, like for instance, somebody messaged me the other day and they said to me, I'm having writer's block. I've been trying to write for 5 years now. Can you explain to me how I can write? And I looked at the message and I smiled and I say, how do I explain to somebody how to write? Because I did not go to school to learn to write poetry. Poetry was just born in me.
Right.
So how I write may be different from somebody who went to school to learn to write, because I have never graduated from any school whatsoever.
Look at that.
Never. I don't have a certificate.
That is a bombshell.
No school whatsoever.
That is a bombshell.
The first certificate that I got was I went to Heather Little White Culinary, and I did a 3-month course and I graduated. Okay. And my second certificate that I have is in poetry writing. Okay. And the third one now that I got since week was as the writer for the festival song Love Jamaica.
That's right.
If you notice on the back of my wall,
Marge.
You are seeing them.
All right.
Let them know it can be done. That's right.
I don't know how to explain to somebody, but now I am thinking of trying to start a poetry drive in my community. And I have some little kids who I mentor to a lot. And I want to try and see if I can get them in some groups.
Hold on. As
they
you
can do
so,
with words.
Marge, I don't want to interrupt you, but you see, this is, how we get down, Marge.
Yes.
Listen, you see, we have Caribbean Youth Voices, on Tuesdays. So those youths that you're talking to and teaching, please, we want them on the show for the future.
I can get them. I can get them.
Marge, hit me with the set with page 78 now. Hit me
Come with 78, Phil.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Okay, it's called Passa Passa in a Politics. Passa Passa in a Politics. Everybody up to them tricks. Power and money, damn, it not funny. Everybody want a slice of the pie, even if it means someone has to die. It's a game of chance, but nobody wants the last dance. Them want to retire with them pocket fat, so the leadership race hot. With whole heap of verbal attack. Old versus young, none of them now sit down. Meanwhile, the country's business stands still. In our poor people's mouth, them shove a bitter pill of promises that will never be fulfilled. We only guarantee more passa in our politics.
True.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
That's a bombshell. Flavors, are you there? You have any questions for Marge? Flavius?
Let Marge.
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here. No, man, I would.
Sweet wax for this.
I love you, Flavors.
I would like to hear some more.
All right.
I like to hear some more poems.
Okay. Marge, you know something?
Yeah, man.
Since you talk about the children just now, you have 2 poems.
I would love to hear
Page 40 and 41.
some more.
Page 40. Okay.
We're coming with it. May I make a suggestion? Marge, put your poetry on audio because people need to hear you. You have such an effect when you're reading. You put it on audio now.
Okay, you'll have to arrange that for me.
Go ahead with the thing.
Okay, it's called Father's Incense. Mm-hmm. Creepy thoughts of you at my door, whispering, you want more, as I lay crumpled on the floor. To report this act, I am not sure. They'll say I begged for it because I dressed like a whore. The words no fell on deaf ears. You weren't even moved by my tears. My protector no longer cares. So I suffer alone all these years. As you muffled my screams, you shattered my hopes and my dreams. Seeing as my father is the molester, who will stand as my protector? Mm. So, and this poem was written years ago. So now when I see people coming out and talking about pedophilia and, children being abused by family members, especially fathers, uncles, stepfathers, whoever it may be, because normally the molester is always somebody who is close to the family and to the child also. Yeah. So I've been writing these poems for years because I know these things are going on. It's taking place. The second one is called Innocence Lost. In this corner, I sit contemplating suicide. No thoughts of pride. Being here doesn't allow freedom. For my soul, I expect no ransom. A million thoughts filter through my head as my innocence was misled. Why should I be here as I live in fear? To alive, remain alive will never ease this pain, as each day I silently go insane. For years, I flow tears, reminiscing at how you held my hand, knowing your intention. Something just wasn't right that night. As a child, you stole my innocence, expecting me to live in pretense. People say I no longer smile, not knowing of the damage done to this child. I live constantly questioning as time perpetually beckoning. Who said childhood was fun? Mine was finished before it even begun. I see only dark days ahead. Thoughts fill my head with dread. When my innocence lost, I bled. So I might as well be dead. Maybe the torture will stop in my head. If I tell anybody, they'll say I am wrong. This will defend. They will defend you and say, no, not this man. The pain is too much. No one understands. In my mind, I hatched a diabolical plan. So I wrote a note, and around my neck, I placed this rope.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
You gave me chills, Marge.
Why, Marge, you're deep.
So
deeper than the
those
ocean.
are a lot of things that children are facing.
Yeah.
But who do they go to sometimes? Because sometimes their own parents won't believe them. Or
True.
Because of monetary reasons, they know it's happening, but they refuse to speak out and find the right medium to get get the problem solved.
Right. True. Wow.
In your community, Marge, what is one of the all right, I'm just asking because I'm figuring that one of the things that you mentioned, mentorship for, to start a poetry drive, because you have children that you're mentoring right now, But do you find any more adults in your community who are doing things like that?
Well, okay. We have a series on YouTube that is called The Bartender, right? And the director and the writer is none other than Orville Hall, who is the founder of Dance Expressions. I must give thumbs up to him also. He has been very instrumental in all that I have been doing. We have been friends for over 40 years from high school days. Okay. And he is one of them who has been doing a lot also in terms of, just reaching out to people, even with the show, because we have even our festival song, we have kids in it where they were playing ring games, they were doing stuff. We have all of the children knowing the song by heart from the community because it has been playing so often. And with me as a role model to them and they knowing that I wrote the song, everybody is also interested. Okay. And there are one or two people who will still reach out because we have a citizen association. It's not 100% effective, but it's working. I have people like a set of twins that I actually grow, who they are big women now with kids also. They are a part of the association. They have been doing their fair share in terms of like we try to keep treats and at Christmas time. We try to do a lot of stuff. We're not getting 100% support, but we're not giving up and we are still trying to do it. Because what I look at, I say to people, not because you might have had a terrible past, that means you want to see somebody go through what you go through. Because I tell people, I didn't grow up getting much love, but I try to pass on love to other people, whether adults or children, especially children, because I have a passion for kids, right. Because so many, I tell people that I have heard children say they have never been hugged by their mother or their father. I wrote an article on that once where I said most people, the person that hugged them first is either the woman that they slept with or the man that wants to sleep with them, where most time the hug is not really a genuine hug. It's a hug because of something that they are going to get or about to get. True. So a lot of children grow up don't knowing what real love is. I have a teenage grandson. I tell him every day I love him. I hug him. I lie down beside him. I talk to him. I try because guess what? I would like to see him grow up to be that man that he's supposed to be. But without my input, he can't do that. Because when you go out and your friends tell you something, remember, they are not telling you from experience and they are not telling you from a parent who taught them the right way. They are telling you from another friend who told a friend who told a friend, and it goes down the line. True, so really the information isn't all that accurate.
But you're right. So, you touch on a very good point, Marge. It's, that's serious points you're making. But I want to ask you, we're pressed for time at this point. We almost have to wrap up. But I need one more thing from you. I need you to, on page 170, I need you to hit that piece for me, Marge. I'm not even going to say what it is. I want you, when you reach it, I want you to leave us with that. We need this from you today. I waiting. I'm not telling. You see it though.
It's called Jam Down. Jam Down. The best place on earth, the land of my birth, the culture, the food and the music, the fun and the vibes will make your boom flick. Argue today, breathe tomorrow. Check your brethren for your barrow. Jerk chicken and cold beer. Grab a seat. Sit anywhere. Ackee and saltfish are the national dish. The make of dancehall and enough dance move. The music for you to whine and groove. Bob Marley, Usain Bolt and Shelley and Fraser Price. Jano, Jamaica lovely, and the people them nice. How could I forget the spice? The style I talk, the way we walk, how we hunger stress, we just chill, relax, and expect the best. Sometimes we're broke, but we still find happiness. We have a passion for fashion, turn we hand and create one. Have fun anytime, anywhere, climb Duns River Falls without fear. Every country want be with friend, just the crime we need to end. The place where dance keep till daylight, most conversation end with right. Man greet man with fist and elbow and answer them phone, yo. Football and cash pot make argument get hot. People tell you about your mother, fight broke and crowd gather. Sidewalk at the new veranda. It is where you hear the most propaganda. But no matter where you come from, everybody want a piece of the action. Jamaica is a slice of heaven. Jamaica make me come home again and again. Sweet, sweet Jamaica, me nah left ya. I yaso me come from, I yaso nice. The nicest place on earth. Jam down, the land of my birth.
Whoa!
And I wanted to leave you. I wanted to leave you with this last one.
Please
that
do.
Was wrote this week. And it's just about loving yourself, whatever your complexion is, wherever you are from, just love yourself. Because once you learn to love yourself, you will know how to love other people.
Marge, before you read, Marge, let me ask Francine, just joining us. Welcome.
Well, I am just joining you on Zoom, but I was tuning, listening. And that last piece, I have to say, you know my thing already. This one is a boom blast. Man, no, man. Let me say good morning, one and all. Marge, come out strong. I love it. I love it.
And that is just a chat of the iceberg. I heard Max on it said 200 and odd. Sorry to disappoint. It's over 300 and odd, and I'm still writing.
Hey, Marge. I think Marge is doing what Gabby is doing, you know. Writing poetry, and after, you know, same have a numbers in the head and him just head for it. So do you have a numbers in your head as well?
I thought I had that amount, but honestly, when I'm scrolling on my tablet, it's like my finger can't stop. And the book has like 100 and odd, and I have enough material for like 2 books. And now I'm doing documentaries.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. Courtney and Brother Antara is saying, he says, poetry, this is for you, Marge. Rhythmic song, words of the heart. I love these poems deep. Reminds me of one of our local poets, the late May Vern Ben, with whom we published a book From Rampas to Tenerife, sorry. He says, sister, you should consider doing an audio collection. Nice, love the Jamaican accent. So I'm gonna let you say that piece and then we have to get out of here. Good to see you, Mitchie Boo.
One question, Max.
Yes, darling.
Marge.
Yes.
Are these poems being heard by the ordinary Jamaicans?
I must say, I don't know, poetry has like taken a back seat in Jamaica. I don't know why. I'm a second place finalist in the song competition, right? And I was hoping to get the first place because I wanted to reach out to Minister Grange, which I'm still gonna do, because I would like to have some talks with her to invite poetry back in schools and also have a platform for poetry. I know like Cherry Natural and many others are doing an excellent job. And I must say big up to Cherry Natural also, because we met in Emancipation Park, and when I showed her my work, she was really impressed with it, and she pushed me to continue doing all of this. So I must say thanks to her too, and to all other poets before me. I must give them the thumbs up. Thank you for paving the way that somebody like me can come and follow through also. So I must say thank you to all of you guys who have done it before me.
But can I tell you something? You're so talented and you're doing an excellent job. So you see the final piece that you're about to do, you're gonna do it like a first place winner. That's how you're gonna perform your last piece. You're gonna show us some expression and go on with a whole heap of something, because right now I am well tuned in. I'm up and running and I'm so waiting to hear what your last piece. You better make sure it's nicer than the last one, you know.
I'm so glad that I'm on screen, because that's so like a serious threat.
Oh, shoot.
You guys are so much love and fun. Okay,
Go right ahead, Marge.
It's called Loving Your Skin.
No, let me just finish.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, Loving Your Skin. Hey, black skin, beautiful melanin. Don't change your skin for anything. You are everything, seducing, appealing. Your drips of caramel. Oh heaven, where is hell? I'm in a spell. Dark chocolate, making men trip as oil runs off silk skin, satin. Imagine what beauty lies within. Changing you would be a sin. Your color is everything. Avoid bleaching. I watch you grace the covers of magazines. I see you on catwalks, in boardrooms, making strides, never laying low for free rides. None can compare. And oh, by the way, leave your nappy hair. Those chemicals only tear. Beware of those who find it odd that you don't want to perm and rod. Your fro, it's a different glow. Walk this way, you are on show. Let me address how flawless your face is. No makeup to cake up, just lip gloss. Square your shoulders and step out. The world calls your name. Natural, nothing falls or enhance. Chocolate skin is here for the win. There's beauty in melanin. Keep dripping while they're tripping. I'm glad you know what you're worth, that being dark doesn't hurt.
That's right.
What does Francine have to say?
Francine says, this one is another boom black with Franco.
This one is a bombshell.
It's all right. We got you, Marge. Beautiful. Thank you, Marge. It was just so beautiful having you today.
I thank you for the pleasure.
You will be back. You will be back.
I will be back.
Yes, you will.
Maxonette, give me a second. Marge, guess what? When I was a child growing up, they used to laugh at me when I was in school. And I had to be going out in the sun, to lie down in the sun, just to darken the skin, you know. And so I was firm enough as an adult to tell my son, listen, even if you're light skinned, you're still black. We are black people. So nobody make a change and run, and then now you look and you see persons trying to bleach just to get a color. And you think to yourself, why are you changing the color of your skin? Love who you are. So I'm caramel this morning and I'm dripping.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for that, Francine. We had a beautiful time with you, Marge. We will have you back again. As you know, the poetry corner is linked with the poetic chain, so we will definitely have you back again. We have to. So with that, I have to say, please don't forget to buy her book on Amazon. It is there. Highways, Byways, and Beyond. Invest. And I'd like to remind everyone, we're all in this thing called life together. Namaste and one love. Franco?
Yes. Thank you very much, Marge the poet, for coming this morning.
You're welcome.
I want to thank all those on the YouTube channel this morning. Those who are participating, those who have not. We ask that you remember to subscribe, like, and share the video, because the objectives of this channel is to educate and entertain as well. All right? So until next week, we do it all over again. We're going to ask Queen Lobafu to take us out of here by saying the Our Father in the Garifuna language, and then Tafina will take with myself to take us out. So until next week, take care of yourself, your loved one. Remember that prayer changes things. Regardless of what religion you belong to, you must pray and continue to pray.
You lead us song fulla. You belong far away away. Ajugwala lebabu seru. Leader mua, leader song fulla. Leader mua, leader song fulla.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time.
What I was
Bless.
trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
I like a thief in the night. Me have to get out the side. I feel take away myself. I feel take away myself. I have to utilize I wings. Surely I leave where I is. I said,
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
Relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, but soon you